Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
Welcome to the Infowars Nightly News. It's Friday, June 23rd, 2017. I'm your host, Owen Schroyer. Here's what's coming up tonight.
Tonight, the explosive lawsuit that DNC does not want you to see. The establishment Democrats prepare to defend themselves in the courtroom, where a case is being heard about election fraud coordinated by the Hillary campaign to rig the election against Bernie Sanders. Owen Schroyer talks to Harvard law expert Jared Beck about the class action lawsuit and the Clinton body count. Then, Trump needs your help to drain the swamp, and that's why Paul Nealon needs your vote to take out Paul Ryan. All that plus the deep state plans for the second civil war in America. That's up next on the Infowars Nightly News.
Globalist social engineers are not just targeting us with propaganda. They are manipulating our genetics. We are being targeted at every level by estrogen mimickers that lower our testosterone and other hormones and natural compounds that the body needs. The key is to be aware of this attack and to fight back against it. After consulting top doctors, nutritionists, pharmacists, and others, we have developed what I believe is the ultimate non-GMO organic super male vitality formula sourced from powerful organic herbs harvested around the planet and then concentrated for maximum potency. I've always believed in nutrition and herbs. Super Male Vitality was developed to activate your body's own natural processes instead of using synthetic chemicals. Super Male Vitality by Infowars Life is so powerful that I only take half the recommended dose. Visit InfowarsLife.com today to secure your Super Male Vitality and other powerful products from Infowars Life.
Check out these amazing deals at InfowarsStore.com. 25% off BioTrue Selenium, a powerful antioxidant and back in stock Super Blue fluoride-free toothpaste. Now 33% off. And while you're there, check out the Total Oral Care Pack, which combines our organic mouthwash with the amazing Super Blue toothpaste. Now 37% off. All available right now at InfowarsStore.com.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's the biggest story in America right now. It's the biggest headline on all publications right now. Loretta Lynch is now looking to get probed. That's right. There is a Senate Judiciary Committee that is about to examine former General Loretta Lynch, former Attorney General of Barack Obama, for alleged interference in the Hillary Clinton email investigation. Let's start off with ABC 7. Senate probes Loretta Lynch alleged interference in Clinton investigation. The group of Senate Judiciary Committee leaders is seeking details about Lynch's communications with a Clinton campaign aide, Amanda Renteria, as well as copies and information about whether the FBI investigated the alleged communications. The senators, this is key right here, the senators question Open Society Foundation's Leonard Bernardo and its general counsel Gail Scovell, as well as Renteria and Lynch, about a May 24 story in the Washington Post that reported Lynch assured Renteria that she would not let the investigation into Clinton go too far. Lynch, of course, declined to comment at the time. She still declines to comment. We've got videos of her declining to comment constantly. But let's go back to the Open Society Foundations real quick. You know who runs and founded the Open Society Foundation? George Soros. So isn't that nice that the George Soros founded Open Society Foundation is going to be involved in this probe? I like that. Maybe they'll find something else about George Soros. Maybe they'll find out that he's been colluding, that he helped to interfere with some investigations. He's been funding all these Democrats after all. So that could be an interesting aspect to keep our eye on. But let's go on. An email recounting that alleged conversation and authored by Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who served at the time as the DNC chair, was allegedly hacked by Russia. And then the story says, though the FBI later discounted its reliability. I'm curious what they mean by that. Are they saying that the FBI is discounting the reliability that it was Russia that hacked it? Because definitely that's the case. Or are they saying that the reliability that the email is genuine is discounted? Which, if that was the case, why are we still talking about it? No, because it is real, and that is the case. So it looks like Loretta Lynch is about to be next to have to give a testimony, the next big hearing on the Hill that is going to have bars opening in D.C. early for. But isn't it amazing how they built up the Comey testimony, they built up the Sessions Comey testimony, for some reason ignored the Jay Johnson testimony, but then now you're going to have the Loretta Lynch testimony, which is going to be the big bombshell. I think that this is the one that you're going to get the real bombshells out of. The other bombshells basically worked against them, not in the manner that they thought. They worked against Comey, and then Sessions was great. So I wonder how Loretta Lynch is going to do. We've got some videos that give us an idea. This is a story from CBS. Senators investigating former AG Loretta Lynch for political interference. Senators investigating Russia meddling in the 2016 election are now looking for more information about the firing of FBI Director James Comey and the Clinton email investigation, specifically now looking into Obama's Attorney General Loretta Lynch's alleged political interference. So we've had the months of the ongoing Russia investigation prove nothing. So now finally we're going to get investigation into where the real collusion is with Loretta Lynch. And for some reason, I think we're going to find something here. The New York Times printed a report that the FBI had obtained hacked documents that included one about a Democrat operative who had expressed confidence that Ms. Lynch would keep the Clinton investigation from going too far. That's obstruction of justice, folks. Right there from the Attorney General. Got to love that. You got the former FBI director as a leaker, and you've got the former Attorney General, Loretta Lynch, is guilty of obstruction of justice. If we can actually get that email to be considered legit, get that in front of a hearing, which is now what we're going to have. The press release says that Grassley requested a copy of the document from the Justice Department, which didn't respond. How convenient. Well, you're going to have to respond now, aren't you? NBC News. Senate investigates Loretta Lynch conduct during Clinton email probe. Exactly, folks. Clinton got caught red-handed and didn't get prosecuted. If that was anyone else, they would have gone to jail. Why didn't Clinton? Those are the questions we're going to have asked. This is from USA Today. Senators investigate whether Loretta Lynch tried to stifle Clinton email probe. Looks pretty obvious to me. A spokesman for Lynch said the former Attorney General will cooperate fully with this inquiry and respond directly to the Senate Judiciary Committee. Boy, I'd love to see that. I have a feeling, though, she's going to try to dodge, duck, dive, dip, and dodge her way out of this deal. And then Robert Rabin, the spokesperson for Lynch, because she can't speak for herself, she's such a coward, says Miss Lynch is a committed public servant who has dedicated much of her career to the Department of Justice and led the department as Attorney General in the fair and impartial administration of justice. I have a feeling that Robert Rabin is going to eat those words for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Boy, that will be sweet. Grassley Feinstein want answers from Loretta Lynch, the headline in Politico. And I love this headline. Now, Chuck Grassley has been an absolute dark knight, an absolute hero, going about this methodically, patiently, slowly crawling closer, etching closer to this day when he'll get these people on a stand and get all of America watching. But it's very key Feinstein is involved in this, and Feinstein is also going along with it too, wanting answers. Because if you'll notice, Dianne Feinstein, I said this a while ago, Dianne Feinstein has reined herself back. Dianne Feinstein has reined herself in. What we've seen is the madness of the Democrat Party showing itself. The Maxine Waters, the Nancy Pelosi's, the Chuck Schumers, the crazies, the Tim Kaines. It goes on and on. But you notice Dianne Feinstein, who was always at the head of that mix, always right there mixing it up, hasn't really been there much lately. Hasn't really been that person. Hasn't been vocal about how bad Trump is. Now, of course, she has been. She's still a swamp member. Don't get me wrong. I'm not lionizing Dianne Feinstein. My point is, as we bring the letter here, this is the actual letter from the Senate letting Miss Lynch know about the probe that is about to be ongoing. It's signed by Dianne Feinstein. Folks, I think she knew this was coming. I think this has been in the works for a long time. And I think Dianne Feinstein knew it was coming and that's why she reined herself in. And that's why Dianne Feinstein has not been as vocal and as big of a swamp creature as we've seen in the past. I think she knew this was coming. And I think that she knows that the result is not going to be favorable towards Loretta Lynch, towards Hillary Clinton, towards James Comey. And that's why she decided to rein herself in and not be as loudmouth as she had been in the past. So that's another interesting angle. Now, here are the questions that they have addressed in this letter that they want answered. Did anyone from the FBI ever discuss or otherwise mention to you emails, memos, or reports such as those described in these media reports? Great question. I wonder if Lynch will answer it. Are you aware of the existence of any email, memo, or report such as those described in the cited media reports? If so, when and how did you become aware of the document's existence? Did you have any reason to doubt the authenticity of this document? Again, just right there, she will have to admit that she's guilty of obstructing justice, or she'll say that this email is a fake email, and then we'll have a whole nother investigation. To the best of your knowledge, have you ever communicated with Amanda Renteria? If so, when and did you discuss the Clinton investigation? If so, please describe the communications and provide all records relating to them. I have a feeling that those records are getting smashed with a hammer and burned with a torch right now. To the best of your knowledge, did any of your Justice Department staff or your other associates communicate with Amanda Renteria? Excuse me, I just read that one. During your time in the Justice Department, did you ever have communications with Debbie Wasserman Schultz, her staff, her associates, or any other current or former DNC officials about the Clinton email investigation? If so, blah, blah, blah. It goes on. To the best of your knowledge, did any of your Justice Department staff or any other associates communicate with Debbie Wasserman Schultz and her staff or any other current or former DNC officials about the Clinton email investigation? If so, please describe those communications and provide all records relating to them. So now everything that was put against Trump, everything that was put against Comey, everything that was put against Sessions is now being waged against Lynch and her crime mob Clinton friends. Now, let's go to some video. Lynch has been on the Hill before. She's had to testify before, but she's never had this on her. She's never had the weight of this on her. She's never had the entire American public watching her. That's what she's got now. She's backed into a corner, and she might sing like a bird. She might not want to go down for Clinton. She might sing like a bird, so it'll be interesting. But this is what we've gotten from Lynch in the past, a bunch of nothing. Now, we'll get to that in a second. I want to go back and play the video of James Comey talking about what Loretta Lynch said to him as far as the Clinton email investigation.
Probably the only other consideration that I guess I can talk about in an open setting is that at one point the Attorney General had directed me not to call it an investigation, but instead to call it a matter, which confused me and concerned me.
Oh, really?
That was one of the bricks in the load that led me to conclude I have to step away from the department if we're to close this case credibly.
Not to get back on grilling Comey, but really, it was so concerning to you. Why didn't you have a leak? Why didn't you say anything? The Trump thing was so concerning. They made a big deal of that. But this Loretta Lynch thing, making it a matter. And then right there, I would say in Comey's testimony, you already have Loretta Lynch interfering with this Clinton email investigation. That's obstruction of justice. I think right there, James Comey just indicted Loretta Lynch. So we'll see what she has to say. But Loretta Lynch is famous for not answering questions. She's a master of law talk. She's a master of lawyer speak, and she dodges questions left, right, up, down, one side and the other. Here's some classic video of Loretta Lynch dodging questions.
I never thought I'd say this. I actually, and I say this with due respect, Attorney General, I miss Eric Holder. Because at least when he came here, he gave us answers. We didn't like it. But I've spent the last 4 hours listening to basically the Attorney General of the United States not willing to make a concrete statement of law.
Of course not. She knows that they're all guilty.
Not willing to say that when given the opportunity by a colleague of mine, who made the decision in this case? I understand Director Comey stepped up and said, here's the decision we recommend. And y'all,
talking about the Clinton email investigation.
Well, we just accepted the team recognition. When given the opportunity to say, do you accept this decision? You've never answered directly that you own this decision. Do you own this decision?
Congressman, as I've stated, I made the decision, and I do accept. I did accept it, and therefore I made the decision to accept that recommendation. That was the action that I took.
The problem that we're having here, though, is you took a decision because you had to. Your own words just a few moments ago, that the meeting on the tarmac led you to do something. That was your exact words. It led me to do something, and that was basically recuse yourself, but didn't recuse yourself. You just said, I'm going to accept what they tell me.
It led me to discuss the decision I'd already made about how the matter would be handled.
Had you already had conversations with the team before you made this statement and before the meeting on the tarmac?
No. Before I had a conversation with former President Clinton, I had not spoken with the team. I had concluded in my mind how it should best be resolved because I had tremendous faith in their work and their integrity.
Did you have it as investigate resolved as far as what they're doing and the way it was going about, or the end outcome?
I had no conversations about the end outcome of the investigation.
Huh.
Do you believe that there is such a thing as a strict liability offense?
Depending upon the statute.
Here comes the law talk.
No, we went to law school. Is there strict liability offenses or not?
In OSHA, for example, there are.
That
in
a yes
some
or a no?
environmental cases, there are.
Simply yes or no.
I've given you two examples.
No, I want a yes or a no. Is there strict liability
I've given
offenses?
you 2 examples.
She can't say yes because she knows that that would indict Hillary.
Again, the issue that we have here is there's no ownership at DOJ. It's no wonder the optics of this so bad. I've never agreed probably with David Axelrod in my life, but the optics of this are terrible, and you today have made it worse.
Beautiful. Absolutely grilled. There she is, dodging and left and right. Can't answer a question. Won't even answer a yes-no question. And it's all because she's protecting Hillary Clinton, folks. That's the key. Here she is getting grilled by Jason Chaffetz doing the exact same dodge routine.
Does an individual need a security clearance to review or have access to classified material?
Congressman, that issue would be dependent upon the agency for whom they worked and
again,
the nature
dodging
of the
the
work
question.
that they did.
We're talking about Hillary Clinton having a classified server with classified documents illegally. Answer the damn question, Lynch.
No, I believe, as I was going to say, they would, but the type of clearance varies with every agency, and the agency would make that decision.
You're going down.
Determination.
Is it legal or illegal to share classified information with somebody who doesn't have a security clearance?
Congressman, it depends on the facts.
She won't answer the question.
Situation. You'd have to determine
because Hillary Clinton is guilty of everything he said. That's why she won't answer the question. If she answers the question honestly, saying yes, that's illegal, then she would indict Hillary Clinton. She's protecting Hillary Clinton, folks.
So
this is unbelievable.
There is a scenario in which you could share classified information with somebody who doesn't have the requisite security clearance?
No, I would not draw that conclusion. I would say that I'm not able to answer it as a hypothetical, but that there are a number of factors that would go into the decision, and one could have any number of results.
Is it legal or illegal to provide access to somebody who doesn't have the requisite security clearance to view classified material?
To
Which
provide
Clinton
access?
Yeah.
Again, you know, again, I need more facts on the hypothetical. But
so everything Clinton did, not hypothetical. This is what Clinton did. She keeps saying hypothetical. That's what Clinton did. That's why he's asking you these questions.
To store, house, or retain classified information in a non-secure location?
Clinton
Again,
did.
I would refer you to the statute. One could, in fact, have liability. Again, depending upon the nature and facts and circumstances.
Do you have any examples of where it's legally acceptable to retain classified information in a non-secure location?
I don't have a hypothetical answer for that.
Again, everything
Clinton
did, she's just saying, oh, it's hypothetical, I don't know.
There are a number of statutes that cover that, both at the federal and state level.
And Comey admitted it.
There are a number of ways in which that could be found.
There's a difference between prosecuting something and whether it's legal or illegal. You know, these questions are pretty simple, and we got millions of people with security clearance. How are they supposed to go through the gyrations that you've laid out in order to make a simple determination?
Congressman, if we had a specific fact situation or fact pattern, that could be reviewed.
I'm just
if she was being honest, we got to go to break. If she was being honest,
come up with a blanket to add
she would just say, well, you know, all of that is illegal unless your last name is Clinton. She'd say, yep, that's illegal, but not for Hillary. Kind of like what Comey did. She did that was illegal. She did that was illegal. She did this that was illegal. But we're not going to prosecute. Attorney General Loretta Lynch, oh, I don't know if it's illegal or not. That's a hypothetical. Wait, it is illegal, but Hillary Clinton did it, so we're not going to prosecute. We'll be right back.
We've taken thousands of years of known research and put it together with our own 4 years of seeking and testing to find the very best systems that God gave us through Mother Nature to detoxify the body. That's why I'm introducing Z-Shield, Toxic Metal and Chemical Defense Support. It's made in the USA. It's filled with known compounds from nature that are absolutely associated with detoxifying the body, and it supports the InfoWar. It is a classical 360 win. Our formula at InfoWarsLife.com is, quite frankly, simple. We go out and look at the recognized research, and we take it to the next level of quality, of purity, and of strength. because this is what I personally use for myself and my family. We've gone through 5 or 6 different permutations in the last 4 years since we launched Infowars Life to actually come up with this. This is the formula that I personally have been taking for over a year, and now we believe we have come as close to perfection when it comes to a detoxifier as you can possibly get. If you're not mitigating the pesticides, the heavy metals, the chemicals, if you're not trying to purify your water, if you're not trying to take products like Z-Shield that are full of known concentrated compounds that'll purify our cells and our bodies, you're crazy. You owe it to yourself, you owe it to your family, and you owe it to the future of this country and the world that patriots stay as healthy and as clean and as focused as you can be, because we need you, the remnant of America, to reignite those brush fires to the next level and to be healthy and as focused as you can be. Because if you're sick, if you're over there on the sidelines and not in the fight, you're basically giving in to the New World Order. Thanks to your support and your prayers, together, we're changing the world. Now it's time to change our bodies with Z-Shield at InfoWarsLife.com.
I want to tell you about some of the products at InfoWarsStore.com. We are under constant attack. You know it by now from the mainstream media. They're trying to attack us on every level. Now with the YouTube scandal, they're demonetizing our channels, which again takes a huge chunk out of our income, which is why we always appreciate and rely on you getting the products, because that's how we stay afloat. They can't get to us that way. They can't pressure you to not buy the products. They don't have that power. And that's why you're the key to this entire operation. We have Super Blue fluoride-free toothpaste, bubblegum flavor, just arrived at InfoWarsStore.com. This is by listener request. Bubblegum flavored Super Blue toothpaste now available at InfoWarsStore.com in limited supply. Again, if you're not using fluoride-free toothpaste by now, you're absolutely insane. Harvard studies, it reduces IQ, it causes bone cancer. It's not great, let's just put it that way. And I've been using it for about, what, 15 years now? So you're going to buy it anyway. Why not buy it from us? It's in limited supply, but it is available at InfoWarsStore.com with the new bubblegum flavor. Super Blue fluoride-free toothpaste, and it supports this network, which is under constant demonization and attack, because we don't take big fat checks from George Soros. We don't get put on extremist lists, even though they want us to. That's how they're taking away the YouTube money. That's why we need your support more than ever, because we're not funded by giant corporations who are now pulling the plug on YouTube as they move it into a TV thing, a Netflix model, to drown out independent voices. So support us by getting the products at InfoWarsStore.com.
I'm now joined by Jared Beck, who is the counsel for the plaintiffs in the DNC fraud lawsuit. And Jared Beck landed on my map when he produced a video and shared it on social media requesting for witness protection for people that are serving as witnesses in the DNC fraud lawsuit case. I'm now joined by Jared Beck. Jared, I want to start the interview talking about that video. We've got a lot of things to cover, but I want to start the interview talking about that video. You made this video, you requested the judge provide witness protection to the people involved in the DNC lawsuit, the fraud lawsuit, and you actually heard back from the judge and he would not give you the counsel, he would not give you the witness protection you requested. What drove you to producing that video? What made you want to request that protection from the judge?
Well, from the outset of this case, the case has been marked by a series of very disturbing and concerning events, starting with the unexpected death of our process server, Sean Lucas, who originally served the DNC at their headquarters last year, and then weeks later was found dead on his bathroom floor by his girlfriend. We've also had the murder of Seth Rich, who very well might have been a potential witness in this case. And that's even not even getting into the issue of whether or not he was the source of the WikiLeaks documents. And so, because, you know, Seth Rich, as everyone knows, was a DNC employee, fairly high-level employee who was involved in data analysis. And so for the purposes of our lawsuit, which alleges that the DNC rigged the primaries against Bernie Sanders and in favor of Hillary